This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Border States Electric, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Luther Family Buick GMC, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, St. Sophie's Psychiatric Center, Sanford Health, and Shields. This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Border States Electric, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Luther Family Buick GMC, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, St. Sophie's Psychiatric Center, Sanford Health, and Shields.
From McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everyone. I'm Andrew Simon alongside Cooper Mattern as we get set for North Dakota High School girls basketball action as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the Grand Forks Central Knights. Girls basketball on Shanley TV is presented by the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. We have an exciting game for you tonight, so stay tuned and we will return shortly right after this message from our Deacon partners.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Border States Electric, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Luther Family Buick GMC, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, St. Sophie's Psychiatric Center, Sanford Health, and Shields.
Welcome back, folks, and once again, thank you for tuning in to Shanley TV as we get set for the Deacons to take on the Knights here. Cooper, who are some players for each team that you think could really carry both teams and hopefully give them a direction towards victory tonight?
Yeah, I think coming in you have two teams who are on the opposite sides. You know, when it comes to the EDC rankings, Central coming in at 1-16, definitely on the lower half, if not the last part of the EDC rankings, and then Shanley. Their record is 10-7. I think they're sitting at about 4 or 5 right now, still kind of in the hunt. But for the players to watch on Central, I'll be looking at a 5'8" guard. She's a senior, one of the leaders, and she was the only scorer, or double-digit scorer, against Shanley last time. Number 3, Lauren Hillman. So look for her to have a good game and try to keep Central in it early. And then on the Shanley side of things, number 31, Moha Kim. You know, when it comes to EDC North Dakota basketball, she's a name that you become familiar with just because there's not a lot of teams who are able to match up with her height, and I think that's going to be evident tonight with Central's tallest player only coming in at 5'9". They just really don't have anyone able to match up with her, so I'm looking for her to have a big night.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Moha Kim, every game, she just seems to be a huge presence for the Deacons down low. Yeah, using her 6'2" body, I mean, she's able to do pretty much everything. She's great on defense, great at scoring, able to put buckets in. I mean, and like you said, there's not much height on the Knights team to really balance things out or compete with her. So I wouldn't be surprised if she kind of runs away with a lot of points here tonight against this, like you said, kind of struggling Grand Forks Central team. So we get set for the tip-off here. I assume Hakeem will take the jump here for the Deacons, and it looks like Thompson might be taking it for the Knights. Or excuse me, that'll be Giroux taking it for the Knights. So as we get set for the game to tip off here. And the tip is up, and it is won by Hakeem. A little off the mark for Busick, but she picks it back up. Busick scans the court. She'll find Hodel. Hodel looking in. She'll find Mattern. Mattern back out to Hodel. Hodel into Schramer and down low to Hakeem. And back out to Busick. Busick looking in low. She'll find Schramer. And that ball is taken away by Myrold. Myrold taking it up. That'll be a shot taken by, I believe, Reardon. So Busick on the rebound for the Deacons. She gives it into Lydia Mattern. Mattern giving it down low to Hakeem. And that is taken away again by the Grand Forks Central Knights. This will be Reardon with it. Taken away by the Deacons. Schramer with it. Gives it up to Mattern. Mattern outside the arc, almost looking like she was going to pull up there. She gives it over to Hodel. Hodel back over to Mattern. And out to Busick. Busick will throw it back to Mattern. Mattern steps in, goes up for a jumper. A little off the mark. Rebound by the Knights. This will be Thompson with it. Giroux with it. That'll be a shot taken by Reardon, and that is good.
Good start here for the Knights. First couple minutes playing really well defensively and able to turn it into offense there with a quick three-pointer to take the lead.
This is Busick with it now, over to Hodel. Hodel scanning the court. She'll give it out to Mattern. Mattern swings it over. It'll go to Hodel. Hodel for three. And that'll bounce off the rim and out of bounds off the Deacons. Moha Kim looking to come up for the rebound. Unable to corral it in. This will be Myrold with it. She throws it up to Thompson. And Thompson over to Reardon. Into Giroux. Giroux trying to drive. She loses the ball, and that is taken by the Deacons. Hannah Hodel taking it up for the Deacons. Over to Kate Busick. She'll return it to Hodel. And Hodel will return to Busick. Busick looking low for Hakim. Her shot blocked a little bit, but she gets her own rebound and will put that up for two.
And there's kind of that height differential we were talking about. Even though that first shot was deflected, she was still able to get that rebound quite easily and put it back up for a nice, easy layup.
This will be Thompson with it now. Tipped away by Shrema, and that will go out of bounds off the Deacons and will stay with the Knights. Thompson inbound. She'll give it out to Myrold. Myrold for three. So the Knights coming out hot from outside the arc so far. Here's Busick with it now. She'll find Hodel. Hodel looking inward. She'll swing it back to Busick. And Busick will return to Hodel. And they'll go back and forth a little bit here. Hodel with a shot. That'll be a deep two off the rim. And Hakim fighting for the rebound. Looks like we'll have a jump ball, and that will go to the Deacons. Or excuse me, that'll go to the Knights. This will be Reardon with it. Gives it over to Ari. Ari into Thompson. Thompson looking to drive. She'll pass it out. This will be Myrold with it. She'll find it out to Reardon. And this will be Myrold with it. Over to Ari. Ari struggling to find a pass in the Deacon defense, and that will be taken away by the Deacons. Lydia Mattern going up for two. That one will go off the rim. Rebound by the Knights. Ari will give it over to Reardon. Reardon trying to scan the court for an option to throw it into Myrold. And this will be taken by Giroux. That shot will be off the mark. And Kate Busick tries to corral it in for the Deacons, but just steps out of bounds. And a timeout will be taken by the Deacons. Folks, if you've enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that's Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your support of Shanley TV. So as we get set to return here, pretty low scoring so far in these first few minutes. Deacons with only 2 and the Knights with 6.
I think the biggest thing I've noticed early on is just Shanley's inability to really set up their offense. They're a team that doesn't really have a lot of sharpshooters beyond the arc, so they really rely on an offensive system that suits them really well. And I just think they haven't been able to set that up and try to get it down low and kick it back out to their guards. So once they're able to get their groove and set up their offense, we'll see a little more production from them. But Central's defense is looking really solid early on.
Yeah, right. Shanley really needs to focus on passing the ball and moving players around to find options to drive to the hoop. But yeah, like you said, Grand Forks Central's defense just been on them and not allowing them to make many passes. So Mattern will go to the line for 2 here. The first one will bounce off the back of the rim. Got some subs coming for both teams here. Looks like we'll have Holgren coming in for Thompson here. And Mattern's second one will not be able to bounce in, but she will get it back outside the arc. She throws it into Bird. Bird for two. A nice easy layup from Mariah Bird. This is Reardon back with it, trying to get through this Deacon defense. She gives it up to Holgren, and it will be tipped away by Schraman. Schraman will save it, keeps it from going out of bounds. And Mattern takes it up for the Deacons. She gives it over to Hodel. Hodel for three, and that will roll in for three. And a timeout is taken by the Knights here. So, Coop, what do you think the Knights are kind of talking about in this little huddle here after they took that timeout?
Yeah, they really did have a good start, quality offensive start. They were getting buckets early on. I think Shanley's transition offense off of these turnovers has been really good. We just mentioned that they really aren't able to set it up once they're in the offensive zone. But their transition offense looks really good. They're getting buckets, inside, getting to the free throw line. But if Central can tighten up, sort of that transition defense, I mean, their defense looks good when they're actually down low and locked in, in the Shanley offensive zone. But the transition defense needs to get a little better for them to be able to, not allow those easy buckets for Shanley.
Yeah, Shanley does have some players who can make some explosive plays, especially off turnovers, that really get the energy and morale going for the whole team. So, like you said, Grand Forks Central really going to have to buckle down on that. So this will be Ari with it, almost taken away by the Deacons. And this time it will be taken away by Mariah Bird. She'll throw it up to Mattern. Mattern looking for an option. She'll find Busick. Busick returns it to Mattern. Mattern will throw it over to Hodel, and Hodel for three. And that will roll just in and out off the mark, but Shrema comes up with the rebound. Tight defense by the Knights, and a travel will be called against Shrema here. This will be Ari to inbound. Myrold with it. The Deacons showing a little press coverage here. Tight defense there, locks up Dub in the corner, and that'll be taken away by the Deacons. Mattern going up for two. That one will roll off the rim. Busick comes up with the rebound and will give it back to Mattern. And looking in, she tries to find Shrema, but that will be tipped out off the Knights and will stay with the Deacons.
And something early on that we didn't see from the Shanley defense is kind of this full court trap that we're just trying to see at half court with, Mattern and Busick kind of trapping their guards. Early on, Central was getting easy buckets and took a good lead, and then the trap kind of came for Shanley, and Central really hasn't been able to have an answer for that and get it back into their offensive zone to get the buckets we saw early on.
So Busick's three will be off the rim. Mattern will come up with it. She'll throw it out to Shrema. And Hodel with it outside the arc for a three, and that will roll just in and out. Shrema comes up with the rebound. She'll put up two shots there, but will be fouled on the second and will go to the charity stripe for two. So just under 12 minutes left in the first half here. Deacons down 7-8. We'll see if Shrema can make a difference in the score here. The first one is nothing but net. So Shrema with one more here. Game tied at 8. The second one will bounce off the block of the rim. And that'll be Giroux coming up with the rebound. So a little miscommunication there, as this will be taken away by Hodel. And Hodel will go up for a nice easy layup on the fast break. Myrold will throw it up to Reardon. And it looks like a foul will be called here. And I'll go against Mattern. And we'll see Hakim sub in for Shrema. So Reardon will inbound it to Myrold. Myrold for three, and that'll bounce off the rim. Nice recovery by Hallgren. She'll throw it over to Reardon. And Hallgren will take a deep two off the backboard. And a nice deflection, or nice swat there by Moha Kim down low. And there she's using that tall frame once again just to be an absolute force on defense. So here's Hodel with it, looking for an option. Scans the court and finds. That'll go to Mattern. Mattern out to Hodel, and that pass will go off the hands of Hodel.
You know, and maybe an issue with Shanley just not quite being able to set up their offense yet is usually when it's an offense in other games for Shanley, you see Shrema and Hakim on the court at the same time, and I think Jacobson's kind of been subbing them in and out at different times just to try to see if they can get a system that'll match what kind of offense they want to run today. But usually Hakim and Shrema are their two bigs, and they're usually on the court at the same time, and they just haven't been able to set something up, so maybe that has something to do with it, you know, not having two big bodies down there.
So here's Bird with it. She'll put up a shot, will be fouled, and will go to the line for 2. And Bird's first is good. That'll give the Deacons a 3-point lead here. And Bird's second one is good as well, giving the Deacons a 4-point lead. This will be Reardon receiving the pass from Myrold. So we'll return it to Myrold. Myrold for 3, and that'll go off the back of the rim. Mariah Bird coming up with the rebound. And Busick will find Hakim down low for a nice 2-pointer. Deacons with a 6-point lead now, just over 10 left in the first half.
Another good transition there. Good pass there from Busick to Hakim. Really good fast-paced offense we've seen here from Shanley.
Yeah, we've seen a couple points so far off those fast breaks where they'll get a nice steal, jump the pass maybe, and just go right up the court for a nice, easy 2-pointer layup.
Right, whether it's, you know, missed shots by the opposing team or turnovers, Shanley's really good at taking advantage of those and using their speed and athleticism on the other end of the court.
So Reardon with it now. That pass will be deflected by Visser, but will be regained by the Knights. The Knights will gain a nice 2-pointer there. And Busick will take it up. This will be Mevold with it. She'll give it over to Busick. Busick scanning the court. She'll find Hakim. Hakim back down to Busick. Busick goes up for 2. A little too much sauce on that one as that goes off the rim. This will be Reardon with it. Taken away by Kate Busick. And the Deacons will take it back on offense. Busick will try to find Hakim down low. Looks like a foul will go against the Knights. That'll go against Reardon. So Kate Busick will inbound here for the Deacons. She'll find Shorma. Shorma back over to Busick. Busick for 3, and that will go off the block of the rim. And this pass will be broken up and taken away by Moha Kim. Busick once again taking it up for the Deacons. They'll find Mevold. Mevold down into Shrema. Shrema shot off the mark. Hakim tries to come up with the rebound, but she will accidentally deflect it out of bounds.
I think offensively here for Central, they really just got to, you know, kind of try to slow it down and get back to the offense that we saw early on in the game. They seem kind of hesitant and a little timid right now with the defense that's kind of picked up here from Shanley. So if they're able to get back and get those quality buckets like we saw within the first couple minutes, you know, cut it within a tie game here and see what can happen.
Right, this Deacons defense has just been lethal. I mean, like you said, it's kind of making the Knights look a little frantic, kind of trying to make passes that maybe aren't all the way there. And yeah, it's causing a lot of turnovers, and the Deacons are doing a good job of turning those into points. So that will go off the top of the basket, off the wiring, and will go to the Knights. Tight defense by the Deacons once again. Pass almost taken away by Shrema, but will be recovered by the Knights. It's Reardon with it. And that pass is attempted from Myrtle, but will be taken away by Kate Busick. Busick with it now, slowing things down for the Deacons. She'll find Mevold in the corner, and that shot will go off the top of the basket. It looks like Mevold will go to the stripe for a couple free throws here. So that should be 3 free throws here. And Mavold's first will not bounce in. Still with 2 more here. Mavold's second is good. And Mavold's third is off the rim. Hakim fighting for the rebound. She'll recover it. Give it over to Shorma. Shorma over to Busick. Busick will find Mavold. She'll give it into Hakim. Hakim trying to drive to the basket over a couple defenders, and that will just bounce off the rim and will go out of bounds off the Deacons, coming back to the Knights.
Yeah, that was really crazy. Hakim got the ball down low, and you kind of just saw Central's, you know, all players but one. They had 4 players kind of collapse down there on Hakim, and, you know, really good outcome for them if they're able to do that. But Hakim will hopefully learn from that and kick it out to her guards and realize that if there's four down in the paint, that all of her guards will probably be open.
So the Deacons will have another takeaway here against the Knights. This will be Busick going up, looking like Hakim on the last play. That one will bank in for 2. So another timeout here taken by the Knights. And yeah, like we were saying, I mean, this Deacon defense has just really shown their stuff so far tonight. As like we were saying, they're playing very tight defense, a little full court press, and it's just not allowing a lot of opportunities for the Knights to develop any offense, really.
Yeah, and I think when you've been in games like Central have, not a lot of close games, you know, considering their record, they really don't want to have Shanley run away with this one just because they've been in this situation so many times. So they're trying to use these timeouts and trying to think of something to get the buckets that they had early on. But, you know, they definitely need to make adjustments. They're only down 7, so definitely something to build on with all these timeouts, and they're just trying to hope that this one doesn't run away from them like they've seen for the, you know, most part of the whole season.
Yeah, definitely not an insurmountable lead, but with this Deacon team, that's very easy to let them get really hot and get really motivated and fired up and just let them run away with it. So definitely going to have to make a lot of adjustments. So the Deacons look like they're ready to get back into the game here, but the Knights remain in their huddle. And the Knights will get back on the court. So the Knights will have the ball here. That'll be inbounded to Reardon. And tight defense once again by the Deacons. This will go to Hallgren. Hallgren over to Reardon. And Reardon will take a 3, and that will not go in. Recovered by the Knights. Another shot will be taken. That will go off the glass. Kate Busick trying to fight for the ball, and she will get it without a jump ball. A little miscommunication there as Kim kind of blocked the pass to Hodel. A foul will go against the Deacons here as Reardon will inbound. We'll have some subs coming in for both teams here. Reardon will give it into Myrold. Myrold returns to Reardon. Reardon into Dub. And back out to Reardon, over to Myrold. This will be Thompson over to Reardon. Dub for a deep 2, and that will go off the front of the rim. Mariah Bird comes up with the rebound. And Kate Busick will take it up for the Deacons, so give it over to Hodel. Back over to Busick, and down low into Shrema. Shrema's pass will be recovered by Hodel. And Hodel will try to throw it out, but that will be tipped out of bounds by Reardon. And
there we kind of saw it again by Central's defense. Shrema, another big for Shanley. All those you know, shorter players for Central collapsing down and not letting Shrema or Hakim, whenever they're in the game, get easy looks down low.
Yeah, and we saw Hodel kind of look in and pump fake towards Shrema, but yeah, like you said, unable to find a lane. Great defense down low by the Knights.
And outside of Busick, you know, the Shanley team isn't really known for their shooting beyond the arc. They're really a mid-range team, get the ball down low to their bigs and process it down there. But I think Central kind of knows that and is really trying to collapse down on these bigs.
So this will be Shrema putting one up for 2 points, extending the lead to 9 for the Deacons. Be Hallgren over half court. She gives it in Dub. Dub trying to drive the baseline. Nice defense by the Deacons. That is another takeaway for this Deacon defense. This will be Mattern going up. Nice little Euro. She'll put in a nice 2-pointer. Reardon taking it back up for the Knights. Another takeaway by the Deacons as Bird will give this up to Hodel. Hodel trying to juke out Reardon a bit. This will go back to the Knights. Thompson with it. Thompson fakes a deep 2. She'll give it over to Reardon, and Reardon will take the 3. And that one will be off the mark and out of bounds, going to the Deacons.
And we really haven't seen an answer here yet for Central breaking that, you know, trap or that press, whatever you want to call it, that Shanley's been running. They kind of get the ball here towards the, you know, the out of bounds line, and they try to get it into the corner, and that just doesn't work when you're going up against the trap. You want to get it to, at least try to get it to the middle of the court and get a good shot, but Shanley's doing a really good job trapping their guards in and not letting them get it past half court very far.
So Hodel's 3-pointer will not be good, but recovered by the Deacons, and Busick will pull up for 3 now, and that one will be good. 14-point lead here for the Deacons, just over 5 minutes left in the first half. Reardon will take it up, and this will be taken away again by the Deacon defense. Busick will take it for herself. That one will go off the rim and taken back by the Knights. This will be Dub with it, or excuse me, that's Giroux. Giroux into Myrold, and Myrold will be fouled. That looks like it will be on the floor. So this will be Thompson to inbound it in for the Knights. Thompson will find Myrold. Myrold for 3. That will be just short. Recovered by Bird. She'll swing it into Schraman over to Busick. Busick to Hodel outside the arc. Returns to Busick. And Hodel with it once again. So give it over to Mattern. Mattern with a little lob over to Mariah Bird. She'll give it back out to Busick. Over to Hodel and down into Shrema. Shrema looking to go up on the Knights defense. She will find her way over to Hodel. Hodel for 3 outside. That one will not be good, off the side of the rim. And the Knights come up with the rebound.
Good job there by the Knights D. Once again, collapsing down on Shrema. You know, you can't really say that it's a true 2-3 just because there's sometimes 4 players even down there on those bigs. Definitely not worried about the guards shooting. Central is for Shanley, but, you know, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a 2-3 just because they have a lot. They have at least 4 every time down there on the bigs, so something to keep an eye on, but they're doing a really good job so far, and if they can turn that into some offense, it's not like their defense is doing anything wrong. You know, 24 points so far in the half isn't, you know, something to hang your head about, but they just need to, you know, turn it into some offense and get back in it.
And going back to the defensive thing, how we were saying that just so much concentration down low, it's really forcing the Deacons to take a lot of deep shots, as we see right there, Hannah Hodel. And that kind of changes my point, as I was just about to say that they're kind of forcing them to make some of these deeper shots, and they haven't been as successful, but Hannah Hodel kind of changed my mind about that with that 3-pointer right there. So another timeout will be taken here. Timeout taken by the Knights.
And I think, you know, alluding off your point a little bit, Shanley's starting to recognize that and kind of using that advantage. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a catch and shoot every time. They have time to set up, you know, get the pass from down low and make a good, you know, quality shot and see what happens. But usually when you're playing a more active D than we're seeing here from Central, you need to have that catch and shoot ability, which really isn't the case here tonight.
Yeah, really kind of forcing the Deacons to kind of slow things down and make sure, kind of see through their passes all the way before they do anything too rash. So this will be Knights with it. Myrold. That'll be tipped and taken away again by the Deacons.
Another good trap there by Shanley, just forcing them into the corner, and Central just hasn't had an answer for that. If there's anything, that I know about a trap, is that you don't want to get the ball, caught in the corner like we've seen Central do so many times here in the first half. So hopefully an adjustment will come from that here in the late part of the first half into the second half.
And there we see the Deacons turn that turnover into points once again. And another turnover will happen here as that pass will go out of bounds and into the Deacon bleachers. So yeah, just a lot of passing errors, I guess you could say, for the Knights offense. Just not really able to find open lanes or really connect with other players. So going forward, that's just another thing that the Knights will have to button up on.
Yeah, and honestly, early on we saw good offense from them, but that's just because they were able to get set up and run their offense. We haven't seen them hardly ever in the offensive zone running true plays or sets or whatever you want to call it, but that's just because Shanley's defense before their offensive zone has been so good, and their half-court defense has been really good.
Yeah, the Deacon defense is really amped up here as we see another takeaway by the Deacons. So we Bird with it now. She'll throw it over to Busick. Busick swings over to Hodel, and Hodel will take another three, and that will be good.
And that's kind of what we mentioned earlier, having a little more time there in the corner. Didn't have to catch and shoot right away. Kind of took a little time there and had a good shot.
This will be Reardon over to Myrold. Myrold over to Ari. And Reardon will take a three, and that will not bank off. Almost in. Rebound by the Knights, and their follow-up shot no good. Mattern with it now. She'll give it over to Mavold in the corner, and Busick will come up with it. Mavold with it. Returns to Busick. Hodel feeling dangerous outside the arc. Instead, will pass it over to Mattern. Mattern will go up for two, and that will just roll in. So the Knights looking to respond here as Myrold will take it up. She'll give it over to Ari. Returns to Myrold. Myrold over to Hallgren in the corner. And a mishandled pass there by the Knights as that will go back to the Deacons. So yeah, just these turnovers just continue to plague the Knights offense as they've just hardly had any chances to shoot really tonight. So Busick with it. She gives it over to Bird. Bird down low to Mattern. Mattern out to Mavold. Mavold almost pump faking there. Mattern ends up with it in the corner. She'll give it over to Bird. Bird driving to the hoop. She'll put one up, and that will roll off the rim. Knights come up with the rebound. Here's Reardon with it. She'll give it down low to Myrold. Myrold trying to find her way. She'll give it over to Giroux, and Giroux will put up a two-pointer. 40 and counting left in the first half. Bird with it. She'll find Mavold. Mavold will pull up for three, and that will not bounce in. Pass will be taken away by the Knights. And this will be Ari putting one up. That will not be good. Rebound by the Knights. And it looks like Giroux will go to the line for two as she was fouled on the shot there.
Definitely a little easier for Central to rebound when Hakim and Shrem aren't in the game. Able to get a good look there and get to the line.
So Giroux's first is good. See if she can cut the lead down to 20 here. And she will, as her second is good as well. Just under 20 left in the first half. Busick taking it up pretty slow. She'll find Mattern. And Mattern will return to Busick. Mattern with it, looking to drive. She'll pass it out to Busick. Busick for three, bounces off the rim. Mavold goes up for the rebound, but time will expire in the first half here. So the halftime score here, Deacons 34 and Knights 14. Cooper, what are some big takeaways from the first half for both teams? Maybe some things they have to change, some things are doing well. Going forward, what do they have to do to be successful in the second half?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is Shanley's defense. We saw that trap like we've mentioned so many times here in the first half. Central just really hasn't had an answer for that. And in the first couple minutes, they really did a good job setting up their offense and getting looks. But outside of that, we haven't seen much offensive production from them. But if they're able to find an answer for this trap here in the second half and set up the true offense like we saw within, maybe the first 2-3 minutes, I think that'll help. And then on the Shanley side of things, I think they're doing a really good job with their transition offense, getting the ball to their playmakers down low and getting to players like Hodel and Busick up top who have good long-range shots. And yeah, I think they're looking really good and hoping to build on that in the second half. But if Central's able to make any sort of a comeback, they just need to break this trap and get into any sort of offense and try to get some quality shots and quality opportunities.
Yeah, I agree. Shanley just really doing everything they're asked right now. And like you said, that tough defense, that full court press has just been a killer for the Knights offense. So they really need to find something to get through that and be able to go to the basket and try to put up as many points as they can second half. So don't go anywhere, folks. We have an exciting second half for you. Stay tuned, and we will be right back. Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticclub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. So the Deacons will start out with the ball this second half. Still with a 20-point lead here. Shrema will have it. She'll put up a 2. That will go off the glass. Shrema gets her own rebound. She'll put up a second shot, and that one will go off the back of the rim. Rebound by the Knights.
One thing that I noticed early on here is Shrema and Hakim in the game at the same time. Like I mentioned before, that's usually the kind of offense we see from Shanley. Not something they did a lot of in the first half, so we'll see how that works out for them. You know, kind of what they do throughout the first part of the season is that's really what we've seen from them. But we'll see how that works out, just because they've been running it a lot recently in their previous games.
So after that, takeaway and fast break layup by Lydia Mattern. She'll take away another one. She'll go up for a layup, and that one will be good as well. So back-to-back takeaways and fast break layups for the Deacons for Mattern, and the Knights will take a timeout here.
16:57 to go, and they only have 2 timeouts left. Used a lot up in the first half. 1 timeout left now, just corrected the scoreboard, so used a lot in the first half, 1 early on here. Trying to do anything they can just to get back in it, but Shanley's looking really good after that's, you know, kind of a slow and sluggish start. They've really turned it on towards the later first part of that first half, and then obviously towards the end they got a lot of fast break buckets, and good start here in the second half for them.
Yeah, and if you're Grand Forks Central, all you can really hope for is that Shanley's momentum and energy just doesn't keep going up and up, as we've seen so much. Is, like you said, just 1 timeout left. They're going to have to use it sparingly so they can try to, you know, use it to their best advantage, not just waste one early and let the Deacons just keep going without stop. So,
yeah, and I think when you get a team like Shanley, who's, like we mentioned before the game started, in the top half of the EDC, they are able, to make good adjustments, you know, depending on how the first part of the game goes, and that's really what we've seen here. They adjusted to the trap, you know, changed their defense up, a little more up tempo, able to get those fast break layups on offense, and made good adjustments to take a really good lead going into the early part of the second half.
So this will be the Knights with it, and it looks like a foul will go against the Deacons. That'll go against Mattern. And this will be Reardon the inbound. She'll find Myrold. Myrold will hand it off to Reardon. Reardon looking for someone. Tight defense by Kate Busick, and that pass will go out of bounds off Busick's fingertips. This will be Myrold the inbound. She'll find Reardon. Reardon over to Ari, and back to Reardon. Ari with it for a deep 2, and that'll be deflected by Moha Kim, using her height for her advantage once again. And offense will be broken up a little bit, but that will be recovered by the Knights. Looks like that'll be Giroux for 2. This will be Hodel down low and over to Hakim, and there we see that dynamic duo down low. Able to produce their first points of the night as a duo. This will be the Knights. Ari with it. Tight defense once again by the Deacons, just not letting up whatsoever in that sense. This will be Myrold for 3. Nice rebound by Hakim. Hodel will push up to Mattern. Mattern tightly guarded down low. She'll find Busick. Busick into Kim. Kim out to Hodel. And down into Shrema. Shrema looking to drive. Looks like a foul will be called against the Knights here. And Busick will inbound for the Deacons. Busick will connect with Shrema. Shrema returns it to Busick. Busick over to Hodel. And down low looking for Kim. That will be taken away by the Knights. It'll be Myrold with it. She'll give it over to Giroux. That shot will be off the mark and taken back by the Deacons. Mattern with it down into Hakim. Hakim's shot off the mark. She'll get her own rebound, goes up for 2, and will be fouled. We'll go to the charity stripe for 2 shots here. So the Knights with 2 fouls in the second half so far, and the Deacons with just 1. And Kim's first is good. Couple subs coming in here for the Knights. And again, second is good as well.
Anytime you can get a 6'2", you know, center who can shoot like that from the free throw line, that definitely is another added dimension to Hakim's game that she's really good at. Usually you see these big players, their free throw and, you know, mid-range game isn't as good just because they're so dominant down low and they focus on those layups. But Hakim's free throw percentage at the line is really good this year, and definitely something that she's added to her arsenal.
So this shot by Myrold will be off the mark. Excuse me, that will be by Drew. This will be Hakim with it down low. She'll put up a nice finger roll layup for 2. So the Knights looking to answer. This will be Myrold with it. She'll find Ari. Ari will turn to Myrold, over to Hallgren. And Ari over to Hallgren, down into Giroux. This will be Myrold with it once again, looking to drive in. She'll toss it out to Hallgren. Hallgren for 2. That'll be a little too much juice on that shot. Recovered by Lydia Mattern. Mattern over to Busick, down into Hodel in the corner. Back up to Busick. Busick, a nice lob to Hakim. That will roll just off her fingertips and out of bounds, going to the Knights. This will be Ari over to Myrold to take it up for the Knights. Nice spread out defense by the Deacons here. Ari with it. She and Hallgren continue to pass back and forth. She'll give it down low to Myrold. Myrold goes up for 2, and that'll be good for 2. Busick with it now. She scans the court. Looking in for Hakim. Unable to find it, she'll give it over to Hodel. Mattern with it, she'll throw up a lob for Schraman. That is intercepted by Myrold. Myrold taking it up the court. She'll give it out to Ari for 3. Not on the mark, and recovered by Schramer. Mattern now up to Busick. Busick slowing things down. Busick back over to Mattern. Mattern looking to drive in. Tight defense by the Knights down low. She'll give it over to Hakim, and Hakim will be able to go up for 2 over, looks like 3 Knights defenders. This is Hallgren. She will be fouled by Busick. So 2 fouls each, or 2 fouls for both teams here, second half. It'll be Myrold to inbound. She'll find Hallgren. Hallgren back over to Myrold. Myrold looking for a screen. She'll get one from Giroux. She'll pull up for deep, or for a deep 2, and that will be off the rim. This will be Kate Busick taking it back up for the Deacons offense. She'll pull up for 3, and that will be good. Extends the lead to 31 here for the Deacons. This is Myrold over to Hallgren.
I think one positive thing we've seen here from Central, just, you know, judging by the lead, Shanley obviously isn't going to do that full court trap all game, and kind of just like we saw there, Central's actually getting some sort of opportunity here in the second half. They're getting some good mid-range looks, couple easy layups. I mean, not necessarily easy, but quality layups, just like we saw there. You know, and you take away that trap from Shanley, Central's offense is definitely better just because they're able to set up the offense that that they want to.
And Busick's 3 there is long, recovered by Hakim. Out to Hodel. Hodel over to Mattern. Mattern will return to Hodel. And once again, back to Mattern. Mattern looking to drive, but a travel will be called, and the ball will go back to the Knights. Just under 11 and a half left in the game here. Deacons with a 29-point lead. And a reminder, folks, don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV, or follow us on Twitter at ShanleyTV. That'll be Reardon with a shot off the rim. Recovered by the Knights. Now be Reardon with the ball once again as she is fouled by, I'll go against Mavold. The Deacons with 3 fouls now in the second half. Here's Hallgren. Over to Giroux. Off the rim, recovered by Hakim. Busick pushes it up the court for the Deacons. Scans the court. Not too many options. She'll find Shorma. Shorma over to Mavold. And back to Shorma. Shorma for a deep 2. And that is good. Once again, the Deacons staying strong from deep range 2-point. So Reardon over to Hallgren. Hallgren returns to Reardon. There's Ari with it now, and a travel is called against Ari. Ball coming back to the Deacons. So Shorma inbounds to Busick. Busick slowing things down. She'll find Mavold. And Mavold over to Shorma. Busick with it, looking in. She'll give it over to Mavold. Down low to Hakim and out to Shorma. Shorma for 3, and that'll bounce off the rim. Taken back by Ari. Ari trying to go up over Mavold, and that will just bounce out of the rim. Busick once again pushing it up. Nice behind the back adjustment there. She gives it down low to Hakim. Hakim looking up. That will go off the rim. And Moha Kim's shot will be good, and she will get the and 1.
Good take there good strong take there by Hakim. Going up for the layup, getting the and 1, and getting herself to the free throw line once again. And she's done really well from here tonight so far.
So Kim with just 1 shot here after the made layup. And that will bounce off the back of the rim. Hakim almost comes up with her own rebound, but it will just go out of bounds onto the Deacon bench. We'll see Hodel sub in here for Busick. So Reardon taking it up for the Knights. She'll find Mayrold, excuse me. This will be Ari with it. Out to Reardon. Giroux almost losing it. She'll get it out to Ari. Ari with it from outside the arc for 3, and that'll bounce off the rim. Rebound by Giroux. Giroux going up for 2. No good, but a foul will be called. That will go against Masiku Hakim. So Giroux with 2 here. First bounces off the rim. And Giroux's second will just roll off the rim. And rebounded by Mariah Bird. Hodel with it now. Scans the court, and she'll find Shorma. Shorma trying to find Hakim. That pass will be a little long and out of bounds off the Deacons. Just over 9 minutes left in the game here. Deacons with a 33-point lead. This will be Myrold. Over to Ari. Myrold will pull up for 3. And that will just bounce off the front of the rim and the glass. Mavold taking it up for the Deacons. Give it over to Shorma and over to Hodel. Hodel looking in for Bird. That pass will go out of bounds off the Deacons. So Reardon to take it up once again for Grand Forks Central. She finds Ari. Ari will return to Reardon, down low into Giroux. And Ari will pull up for three. That'll bounce off the front of the rim. Shorma comes up with the rebound. Hodel with it over to Mavold. Mavold looking to drive. She'll get over to Kim. And a Kim shot will just go off the side of the rim. And that will go out of bounds off the Deacons, coming back to the Knights. Myrold to take it up for the Deacons. Or excuse me, for the Knights. Ari with it over to Reardon. Ari looking inward, unable to find someone. Myrold looking to drive on the Deacon defense. And a foul will be called. Looks like Myrold will go to the line for two here. A quick reminder, folks, if you've enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that's Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your support of Shanley TV. So Sharma with it outside the arc. She'll pull up for three. That one a little long. Recovered by Hodel into Bird, and a nice little play there as Hodel came in with an excellent save, came right into the hands of Bird, and Bird with just an easy layup.
Yeah, good play there, like you said, Andy. When you see those saves, you know, trying to save it from going out of bounds, you don't really see it going into the hands of your team, let alone anyone. So good play there, and Bird was able to cap it off with a nice, easy layup.
Yeah, good reaction there by Bird to be ready for that and be directly under the rim for a nice, easy 2 points there.
Yeah, you're definitely not expecting it to come right at you when your teammate's trying to save it from going out of bounds. You're kind of just trying to get it back into the court of play.
So just over 7 minutes left here. Deacons with 55 and the Knights with 21. This will be Bird. Looks for Hodel, but that will be taken away by the Knights. This will be Myrold taking it up. So we'll give it over to Dub. This will go down low. Back out to Reardon. Reardon for three. That'll just bounce off the bottom of the backboard. This will be Myrold driving in. And that foul will go against Hakim. Mesiku Hakim, that is. And Myrold will go to the line once again for two shots. The first one is good. Looks like we'll have some of the starters coming back in for the Deacons here. And the Deacons with 6 fouls now, just one away from giving the Knights the bonus. And as of late, the Knights have been very efficient from the free throw line.
Hallgren checking in there from Myrold. Myrold's honestly had a really good game. We saw her get some good buckets early on when Central kind of went on that run and was able to actually have the lead early in the first half. And then she's just kind of built on that in the second half. And I think that, you know, her play can kind of get overshadowed just because of the score is what it is. But she's really had a good game. She's gotten to the free throw line quite a bit and definitely made that pay off. But, you know, she's a really good player and had some good opportunities and took advantage of. And she's got to be, you know, nearing double digits, if not already in that category for Central tonight. So she's really had a good night, and, you know, you don't really want her play to get overshadowed just because the Deacons are up by so much.
Yeah, she's done an excellent job of finding her way to drive into the lane, and like you said, drawing a lot of fouls and going to the free throw line. And like we said, she's been very efficient from the free throw line. So a timeout will be taken by the Deacons here. A reminder, folks, that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. it's easy to become a member, and anyone can join. So sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. As both teams get ready to get back on the court and resume play here.
Probably see a lot of the younger players for Shanley come in here pretty soon. You'd have to think with the score being as it is. Try to get the younger players some good reps, some good varsity reps at least, going on forward, because when it comes to playoff time, like we'll see here in March, these younger players probably won't get a lot of experience in the games just because the games will be a lot tighter with playoff caliber teams.
As we Moha Kim back in the game down low. She'll put up a nice 2-pointer. So Reardon to take it up for the Knights. She'll swing it over to Hallgren. Pass will be taken away by Mattern. Kim down into Busick and back over to Mattern. Recovered by Busick. Busick for 3, and that will be good. And yeah, like Cooper said, here's some subs, some younger players coming in for the Deacons. So the Deacons with close to a 40-point lead here. Just over 6 minutes left in the game.
And with these younger players in for Shanley, you never really know what kind of offensive production you're going to get. So with Central giving up just over 60 points, in a girls' game, you think mid-50s to low 60s is a pretty average score if you're able to match it yourself offensively. But, Central's defense, nothing to hang their heads about, 62, about an average score to give up in a girls' high school basketball game, maybe a little high scoring if anything. But, if they're able to get their offense figured out and match that and get into the 50s and 60s, then it'll obviously be a closer game. But if you really think about it, 62 isn't a lot to give up. It's just that their offense wasn't up to speed with what their defense was trying to at least maintain.
Right, that Deacon defense was just, like we were touching on so much earlier, was just killing their offense, not allowing them to generate any opportunities, hardly able to pass the ball around. So very tough, like we said. Kind of skews the score, I guess you could say, in that way. So it'll be Moha Kim going to the line for 1. First one will bounce off the rim and recovered by Ari. Ari will give it into Holwiger. And back out to Ari. Ari looking in, but she'll swing it out to Hallgren. Thompson with it, looking to drive. Nice defense by the Deacons as a a travel is called against Thompson. And we'll see the younger Deacons take back the offensive possession here. McNeely taking it up, gives it over to Shorma. And back to McNeely. McNeely looking inward. She'll find Mabel, And a foul will be called against the Knights here. That'll be Stockmall going to the line for 2 here. First one is good. A few subs coming in here for the Knights. And Stockmo's second is good as well. This will be Myrold back in the game, back in the game for the Knights. Ari for 3, off the front of the rim, rebound by Myrold. She'll look for Stockmo, but that will be almost taken away by the Knights, but recovered by McNeely. McNeely scanning the court, she looks inward for Moha, and Hakim will go up for 2. Just over 3 left in the game here. Myrold gives it over to Reardon. Reardon trying to drive in on this Deacon defense. And as Myrold tries to get it, a foul will go against Mavold. And Myrold will go to the line for at least one here. Deacons with 8 fouls this half. So putting the Knights in the bonus, just 2 away from the double. And Myrold's first is good. We'll get another one here. And Myrold sinks her second as well. So Myrold just continues to be deadly from the free throw line. There's McNeely with it. She'll give it over to Shorma. Shorma finding Mavold in the corner. Mavold swings it over to McNeely. McNeely looking inward. She tries to find Stockmo. It will be recovered by Mavold. It'll be Reardon taking it up. Tries to find Thompson. Thompson recovers. Thompson gives it over to Myrold. Myrold scans the court. She'll give it over to Ari. And returns to Myrold. Ari with it now. Looking to drive maybe. She'll give it over to Thompson. Thompson for a deep 2. That will almost bank in, but not quite. And McNeely will scan the court. She'll find Mavold. Mavold trying to drive baseline, but nice defense there by Thompson. And we will have a jump ball here, so that will go to the Knights. And we'll see Aubrey Dew here sub in for Mavold. So Myrold to take it up once again for the Knights. Finds Ari. And this will go down to Thompson in the corner. Thompson trying to find Ari, but that will go out of bounds off the Knights. Coming back to the Deacons. 1:49 left in the game here. So McNeely to take it up once again for the Deacons. She'll give it over to Dew. Dew returns to McNeely. She'll find Shorma in the corner, and Shorma's 3 will just ring off the rim. McNeely comes up with the rebound. Dew looking to pass. Gives it back to McNeely. This will be Stockmo down low, going up for 2. Just off the rim, she'll find her own rebound. Does go up again. Looks like we'll have another jump ball, and that one will stay with the Deacons. Shorman to inbound here. Final 1.5 here. McNeely with it, scans the court. We'll give it over to Shorma in the corner. Shorma for a deep 2. That'll just roll in and out of the rim, and Mescua Kim comes up with the rebound. Shot just off the rim.
Although she didn't make that shot, Mescua Kim and Celie Stockmo, I feel like 2 young players who have done a good job with the minutes that they've been given, you know, getting good rebounds, good chances, and good looks. And, you know, they're kind of the future of Shrema and Hakim, who we see early in the game in the starters. So for them to get good reps here is definitely pivotal in their, you know, in kind of their process of becoming a good varsity player.
Yeah, it's nice to see a lot of those younger players coming in, especially 2 freshmen, like we were just saying, with Stockmo and Hakim, Mescua Kim that is, able to come in and, you know, make good plays on the varsity roster and kind of show themselves and show that they can come in the game and just make plays whenever they need to. This is McNeely with it once again. Nice zone defense here by the Knights. You'll find Shorma in the corner for a deep 2, and that'll just bounce off the side of the rim. This will be Reardon taking it back. They'll find Ari in the corner for a deep 3. Just off the mark and recovered by Shorma. Up to McNeely. McNeely almost lost it there, but it looks like a double dribble will be called. Looked like she was maybe trying to make a little pass there last second, but mishandles it. And this will be Myrold. Final 30 seconds left in the game. Reardon with it. Tight defense played by McNeely. Reardon looks inward for Myrold. Myrold looking to drive. Gives it out to Thompson. Thompson for a deep 2. And that'll just go in and out of the rim. Shorma comes up with it. throws it over to McNeely. McNeely over to Moha Kim. That pass is intercepted by Thompson. Just 2 seconds left. Thompson will put one up. That will go off the glass as time expires. Your final score, Shanley Deacons 68, Grand Forks Central Knights 29. And Coop, what are some takeaways from the second half, as if anything really changed that you noticed?
Yeah, it's really hard to kind of analyze when, Central only scores 29 points and Shanley makes it kind of lopsided with 68, but Shanley's offense obviously looked really good. 68 points is really good, and Central's defense, obviously, their record is what it is because they're just not able to get stops when they need it and stop those runs. But Shanley going into the postseason here, I know I think they have Wahpeton again this week, so that'll be another good building block. And then they end with Devils Lake, who's obviously one of the top teams in the EDC. So kind of the final stretch here for Shanley, who's definitely a playoff team, and just keep building, as the games go on. And when it comes tournament time, hopefully they'll have what it needs or have what it takes to get some wins in the tournament.
Yeah, Shanley really looking promising all around, especially on their defense, just able to shut down Grand Forks' offense in every sense of the term. And yeah, going forward for Grand Forks Central, I think they show a lot of promise on defense as they were kind of able to lock the Deacons down low, didn't let Moha Kim or Shrema do as much damage as they normally do. But yeah, some changes going forward. And for Cooper Matter and our entire crew, I'm Andy Simon. The final score from Fargo, the Shanley Deacons 68 and the Grand Forks Central Knights 29. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.